If you look at the world map today, one strange pattern immediately appears. Across Europe, Asia, the Middle East, Africa, and even remote islands in the Pacific, the same country keeps showing up. The United States of America. More than 70 countries. Hundreds of military bases. Warships in every major ocean. But here is the paradox. America was never meant to be an empire. It was born by fighting one. So how did a former colony become the world's police? Is the United States protecting global stability or quietly controlling it? To understand this, we must go back to a time when America itself was weak. Before 1776, the United States did not exist as a nation. It was a group of British colonies under the control of the British Empire. These colonies had no global power, no strong military, and no vision of ruling the world. Even after independence, America remained cautious and inward-focused. Early American leaders feared foreign wars. George Washington warned that permanent alliances and overseas conflicts would destroy the young nation. For nearly a century, the United States followed this advice. While European powers built empires across the globe, America focused on expansion at home, building its economy and avoiding international entanglements. For almost 100 years, America was not a global military power. That changed with World War II. When the war began in 1939, it dragged Europe and Asia into total destruction. Cities were flattened, industries collapsed, and millions of people were killed. The United States entered the war later, after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. But when the war ended in 1945, the global balance of power had completely shifted. Europe was devastated. Japan was destroyed. Britain was bankrupt. Even the Soviet Union, though victorious, had lost millions of lives. Only one nation emerged stronger than before. The United States. Its factories were untouched. Its economy was booming. Its military was massive. And it alone possessed nuclear weapons. For the first time in human history, one country had the ability to end entire cities in seconds. At that moment, America faced a historic choice. Return to isolation. Or step into global leadership. America chose leadership. But this new form of leadership did not look like old empires. There were no colonies, no kings, and no formal conquest. Instead, power would be projected through military presence, alliances, and strategic positioning. Almost immediately, a new threat appeared. The Soviet Union. The wartime alliance collapsed into suspicion and fear. The world divided into two ideological camps: capitalism led by the United States, and communism led by the USSR. This rivalry became known as the Cold War. American leaders feared the spread of communism. They believed that if one country fell, others would follow. This idea became known as the domino theory. To prevent this, the United States adopted a new doctrine: stop threats far from American soil. This idea transformed American strategy forever. Instead of waiting for enemies to come to America, America would place its military around the world. Permanent bases. Forward deployment. Constant readiness. This was the birth of the global U.S. military base network. American bases appeared across Europe, in Germany, Italy, and the United Kingdom. In Asia, massive bases were built in Japan and South Korea. These were not temporary camps. They were long-term installations with airfields, intelligence units, and nuclear capabilities. A military base is not just a place for soldiers. It is a tool of influence. It allows rapid response, surveillance, and political pressure. With this network, America could reach any part of the world within hours. In 1949, the United States helped create NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Officially, NATO was a defensive alliance. An attack on one member would be treated as an attack on all. In reality, NATO placed the United States at the center of Western military power. European nations accepted American leadership in exchange for security. U.S. troops became a permanent presence on foreign soil. Without declaring an empire, America gained global reach. Then came the Middle East. The Middle East mattered for one reason above all others: oil. Oil fueled modern industry, transportation, and military power. Control over energy routes meant control over the global economy. The United States expanded its military footprint across the region: Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, and beyond. Officially, America claimed it was maintaining stability. Critics argued that it was securing energy dominance. Both interpretations shaped reality. In 2001, another turning point arrived. The September 11th attacks shocked the world. For the first time in decades, the United States was directly attacked on its own soil. In response, America launched the War on Terror. Afghanistan was invaded. Later, Iraq followed. New wars required new bases. Temporary deployments became permanent installations. The concept of security justified long-term military presence across entire regions. 20 years of war followed. Trillions of dollars were spent. Millions of lives were affected. Yet the question remained unanswered: did these wars make the world safer? Today, global power is shifting again. China is rising as an economic and military rival. Russia has become increasingly aggressive. The Pacific region has turned into the center of future conflict. And yet, the American military footprint continues to grow. Bases in Japan and South Korea are strengthened. New agreements appear in the Philippines. U.S. naval forces patrol the South China Sea. The logic remains unchanged: if America withdraws, another power will replace it. This is how the United States became the world's police. Not through conquest, but through presence. Not through kings, but through bases. Not through colonies, but through alliances and dependency. America is an empire without a crown. Supporters argue that American power keeps the world stable. Critics argue that it creates dependence and resistance. History offers a simple lesson: no empire lasts forever. The Roman Empire collapsed. The British Empire faded. Every global power eventually reaches its limits. The real question is not how powerful America is. The real question is this: how long will the world accept a single global police force? Because when empires fall, they do not fall quietly. They fall with consequences that reshape history.